Starting with these two books, which I sold on Amazon or merchant fulfilled on Amazon or fulfilled by merchant, not FBA. This one I bought on January 10th of this year. So today's the 22nd. It was 12 days ago. I'm not sure how much I bought it for. I don't have it in the SKU, but my assumption is it was $1 or less, no more than $1.50. And I sold it for about $8. So that sold really quick. Birthright Citizens, A History of Race and Rights in Antebellum America. Why look up this book? I mean, everything about it, to me, screams scan it. Birthright Citizens is interesting. Now, A History of Race and Rights in America would not be quite enough, but A History of Race and Rights in Antebellum America is perfect. It hits the spot. This one you actually have to look up with the ISBN inside. And yeah, sold for $8. It sold really quick. I love to sell things quickly. I'd love to sell everything immediately, but that's just not how it works. You got to wait sometimes. Like this one came from the bottom of a mixed media Gaylord. There were some books at the bottom. The Divine Prescription and Science of Health and Healing. This took some time to sell, but it did sell for $11.89. Of course, plus shipping. I don't do free shipping on Amazon. It's a heavy book, but nonetheless, it sold. I'm actually going to stick it in a vinyl box, or a box for vinyl records, I should say. The one that you fold up, because the book is just too big. And actually, that box is a little tight for this as well, but it should work out and get there safely. So those are the two items I sold in the last, over the weekend on Amazon. Now to the books or items that sold on eBay. This one is interesting. Settlement of the Brethren on the Pacific Slope by Gladys Esther Muir. So this book was written in 1939. Even though this is called the first free page, even though the first free page is severely cut in the front there, it's still sold. The book is over 90 years old. Really cool. I might have some illustrations or pictures even in here. There you go. There's some drawings as well, some maps. So this is an interesting book. This was donated to me back last year, so 2023 in September. I'm not sure if it was just with a few books or it came with a big donation. I believe it was probably a smaller one, but I did sell this one for $20. I took an offer. Plus shipping. All of these are plus shipping. None of them are free shipping. And by the way, the post office just increased media mail cost, as a side note. But you probably already know that because you're seeing the cost go up when you go on eBay or Amazon to ship. So this one is cool, or sticks out to me because it's very specific. It's very old, as well as it has illustrations. It has photos and images. So it's an interesting, a book that I would look up. See, it's 1939. If you don't think it's kosher, think when it says, "To my mother and father whose faith in me made possible this book." So there's that one. This is an awesome CD sale. This came from a bunch of, or 2 donations, 10 boxes of donations worth of CDs in really excellent condition. This is one of those examples of another soundtrack. I mean, just an old school soundtrack. A lot of these were actually from other countries, Italy, Spain, France, that kind of thing. So these are more rare. And this one sold for $39.99. Now, I got 2 separate donations from these. Like the first one I got, I believe, was towards the end of 2022, actually. The next one came many, many months later, the next year. So some of these have been sitting for a while, and others have been listed within the last 6 months, others maybe a year or so. But nonetheless, these are more long tail items. And for $40, I made $30 off of this after everything is said and done, off of something that sat, for, I'm not sure exactly how long. It could have sat for a year, but it's so small, so minuscule, which is why I love selling CDs, that it's more than worth it. Selling stuff fast is the ideal. High profit, quick sales, but you're just not, you're going to limit yourself. And it's fine if you want to limit yourself to a very small what do you call it, inventory that sells super quick, as in within days or weeks. Anything beyond a month you think is too long, which I think is that's really tough. You're gonna have a very small inventory, but that's fine. If that's your thing, go for it. But I like to have not pass on items like these because I know they will eventually sell for good money. 40 bucks is great. Here's another example of a high profit long tail item. I actually bought this in a thrift store in 2022 on October 24th. So it's been more than a year. It's technically been, what is that? Like 15 months. It's a Liza Minnelli CD. There's 2 CDs in here. It is called Liza. Oh, it's hard to see here. The Complete Capital Collection. I don't have here how much I spent on it. Probably $1 at that location. And it sold for $50. I took an offer. It's been sitting for quite a while. I had it listed at $69.99. I was taking offers, but I finally got an offer on it, and 50 bucks, guys, $50 to look out for this CD. It took a while to sell, but with that kind of profit, and I made $41.14 of profit off of this. It's more than worth it, in my opinion, but to each their own. Now, this next one is sold for $14.99, so not huge profit, but this was a donation that I received, 2 Roseanne Cash CDs. And that took, I don't know exactly, probably over 6 months to sell. No, that's not true. That's not true. In the last maybe 3 or 4 months. And again, CD lots, DVD lots, more CD lots than DVD, but a lot of book lots as well, can do really, really well. You can have a nice chunk of your inventory be lots, and I recommend CD lots and book lots as well, strongly. So that's one that sold. This CD, which if you look at it, would you think that it's worth much money? A classical CD, Villalobos, I don't know how to say that, Tcherpnin, Harmonica Conciertos. So this one, it sold for $23.35 plus shipping. This came from those Gaylords of CDs that I'm still going through, of CDs that were scanned for FBA only. So even though this was scanned, they passed on it, and it ended up selling for $23 and change on eBay. And whoa, phew, didn't break it, didn't break the case. And it sold pretty quickly because I listed this not too long ago. Here's another example of a longer tail book. I don't actually know exactly when. Let's see. I don't know how I got this one. However, this was listed in September of 2022, and it finally sold. It's a really cool book. You can see the artwork in there. It sold for, where is it? Penguin Island. This book is from 1925, and it sold for $21.89. It's got some really cool illustrations. Oh, it's hard for me to open with one hand, but get you an idea. Oh, it's not showing it. There are other illustrations. There's an example of one. Just really cool stuff throughout the book. And so somebody got this for 21 bucks and change. A book that's almost 100 years old. It's crazy how lately I've been selling a lot of older books. And it's just, I'm getting used to selling books that are 100 years old. But, it's kind of crazy to do that. I don't know what it is about lately selling a lot of these books. But it's fun to do. What does this look like? If you guessed yearbook, you're correct. From 1969, Inferno. This yearbook came from the same city that both of my stores are in. And this sold, let's see, where's this from? This is from a donation last year in July, so during the summer. Where is it? This sold for $25 plus shipping. And there's all kinds of personal notes in here for one of the students, which is really cool. I hope that the person that bought it, if they're not that person, that maybe they knew that person or they were from this year. But it's just really cool to sell this kind of stuff and see. Oh, of course, I can't open it now. Hold on. To see all of the old school photos or people back from 1969 and their styles and that kind of thing. So Another really cool book that somebody I'm sure will really enjoy, considering that why would you buy a yearbook from a specific year unless you or went to this school or uh, knew this person or knew that person. I mean, of course, it could just be some artistic thing they're doing. But anyway, this is also from a donation. It's Jenny Rivera, a singer. Some of her CDs are pretty valuable. This sold for $36.49. This was a donation, a big pickup that I made of CDs, books, and some DVDs. This was from September of last year, so it took about 4 months to sell, but sold for some nice money. When you get CDs that are from the same artist or group, and you have quite a few of them, or it's a highly sought after artist or group, I recommend lotting them up, unless they individually sell for a lot of money. But it'd probably go even faster if you list them all together. I believe one of these wasn't going for much. I think it was this one, but these other two individually were more valuable. But putting them all together, was able to get $36 and change. So just keep that in mind too. There's so many different types of books and media you can sell. You can sell anything on eBay, or just about anything. But if you're going to get into books and media, there's a lot to learn, but it's also fun, and getting to know what makes sense to sell, whether it's on eBay or on Amazon, but even just on eBay, you can make really good money with lots, and you can make really good money with individual items. So just learn about what makes sense to sell on there, and you can do really well. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. See you next video, guys. Take care.